Alright, time to do you guys a video. I have been spending all of my time uploading charts. I have an internet connection now, not at home. The B building, which is catty corner for me, got wired, and I paid one of the ladies for her password to her router box, her new CenturyLink. It's slow, the connection is weak, but it is there. And so I've been uploading you guys' charts. I can only get one window. If I try to use two windows, it bogs down. So I can only do one thing at a time on it. It's very slow. It's taking hours just for one chart, but they are pretty long. But they are coming at a much faster rate than going to the library. That was killing me. I went almost 3 weeks that I literally got on the bus every day. I was either going to work or going to the library, and it has about taken its toll on me. I picked up an extra day this week. I'm trying to get as many hours in as I can. They're going to kick us off a week for Thanksgiving. That whole week we're gone. Then when we come back, we all go to part-time. And then we shut down 2 weeks right before Christmas through New Year's. They shut down. It kind of seems to be more in a line with the university and the colleges around here, which we have a lot of those students working there. Most people there are part-time. I'm one of probably only about 20 that are full-time workers. They've offered me a supervisor's position, but I don't want it. I don't want the responsibility, and if I find something better, they know I'm going to leave. I'm trying to get me another good babysitting gig like I had. That was just awesome. You can really actually make good money on the weekends around here babysitting. Right now I'm tied up there on the weekends. You get most of my sales are on the weekends. I hardly do anything during the week, just show up. Alright, let's get into this. I've been trying to go through some of the comments and emails, and I am getting a lot about November 3rd, which is tomorrow, or actually just in a few hours here. So let's kick over to it. I think this specific time, whoops, it's going to be 13:05. Yeah, 1:05 Pacific Coast time. And I am on the West Coast. No, 13. Where am I at? My mind is not working correctly. Let's back it up to 12. And then move it to 05. Alright, this is the time. I have gotten over a dozen emails on this. I don't really like doing this stuff because of the fear. The fear that it just puts you in the wrong place, in the wrong mindset. Everything is about mindset. This is a battle for your hearts and your minds. It always has been. We lost the battle of the world a long time ago. We've been enslaved for a long time, and this is simply a battle for the hearts and the minds, because that's really the only thing that matters. The rest is just fluff. Alright, 1:05, 11:03. Now, let's back it up. Wow, I hate that. I thought I had my mouse fixed. Hold on, let me pause this. Alright, I think I got it. Let's pull back over here. And let's back it up. We go from the moon to Saturn to Jupiter to Venus, straight through the sun and Mars. It makes a line. Let's see if we can get, let me make sure I get the right ones. Not sure which one I need to turn on here. Oh. It's all in the heavens to start with. It's all going to be in the daytime, right? The moon is going to be on the horizon, and it's going to make a straight line when you turn everything off. But this, at this particular time, the moon is in Capricorn, IAU constellation. It's in the first decan of Capricorn. The moon is in the decan of the story that tells about Anakin Skywalker going into the Jedi temple and killing the younglings. In the Picatrix, this decan right here, the last part of Sagittarius and the first part of Capricorn, there's about 10 or 12 degrees there. And it's the only image, everything in the Picatrix is about images. It's the only image of the pure white lamb, that perfect sacrificial lamb. Okay, I'll give you that. Saturn in Sagittarius, Jupiter in Ophiuchus. We've talked about Ophiuchus and how they really need this hero really, really bad. Venus in Scorpio. Everybody's in somebody else's house. That's the first thing I want to say about it. Mercury in Libra. So the moon is in the house of Capricorn, Saturn's house. Saturn is in Jupiter's house. Jupiter is in Mars's house. Venus is in Mars's house. These two, what's going on right here with Venus and Jupiter, both in Mars's house of water, friendship, the people you choose in your life, this is a very loving aspect right here. This is a coming together, which is good, but that's only going to last a short time, because as soon as Jupiter moves into its own house of Sagittarius, it's going to get ugly from there on out. It's just going to escalate. Mercury in Venus's house. The sun also in Libra. This is about harmony, balance, and the hidden things of the heavens, the most high of the heavens. Right? We know Venus ruling here as Lucifer. Can be prideful. Prideful we associate with two signs, and that is on the cardinal cross, Libra, and on the fixed cross, Leo. And when you put the serpent of Libra, which is really a serpent, not scales, the scales are there to cover your eyes, and the Leo, you have the Yaldabaoth character, right? The lion sun image with the serpent. So the sun in Libra is that Yaldabaoth energy. Now, the worst of it all is Mars over here in Virgo. Out of everything on the whole wheel, every time I'm doing a chart, I feel the energies of the planets when they're in different houses. And when Mars is on that mutable cross in Virgo, it's a horrible feeling that I get. It's one that puts the most, it feels completely opposite to me. This is the damsel in distress. This is the bad guy. So there's a bad guy. This is bad, masculine, mutable energy in a feminine sign on an upside down mutable cross. This is the guy in the cartoons that would take the girl and wrap her in the rope and lay her on the railroad tracks as bait. Right? It's bait. It's just, that's that energy there. And it's pulling within 10 degrees of Spica, which is the undefended one, pulling that energy. So this alignment, you know, they talk about this time right now. The only significance, this pattern has been set up for over a week now, with all of them in a line here and the moon moving through it. But the only difference in the past week and what's going on at this time is where the moon is, and the fact that all of the five, they call them the 5 planets, are in the heavens with the sun and the moon. This is the whole body, from the lowest chakra to the crown chakra. From Mars, it goes Mars, Jupiter, Sun, Moon, Venus, Mercury, Saturn. That's the alignment we need to see to put us, it would be perfectly in alignment with the body. The chakras would be in alignment. But we're in an upside down world. So, about the links everybody's sending me, it's all over YouTube. I know it has to do with false flags. I'm just going to say it. I don't monetize my channel anyway. But, yeah, well, you know, that doesn't have as much to do with this than it has to do with this. And that's the number sequence. Let's put it back at 05 because that's where they have it. Put it at 04, let it clock. I've talked about this number a lot. Put my images back up, set this in the corner, get off Mars, and 9/11 is here, right between Virgo and Leo. 3/11, which is opposite 9/11. Let's reverse these numbers. 3/11 is the first degree of Aquarius. It's the opposite. The first degree of Aquarius is opposite the zodiac of 9/11. So 3/11 is reverse. 11/3 is reversing the 9/11. They flip it and do the 6/11. Well, when I look at this, number one, this is not 9 to me. This is septum. And this is 7. This is 7. So it's 7/11. It's always been about 7/11. That makes this 1/11. I know a lot of you see 11/11 and 1/11 right there. So when you look at 11/3, literally this is, as 9/11 is the head of the Virgin, 11/3 is the foot of the Virgin, right? You have the image in the Bible, in Revelations, that talks about the woman that's clothed with the sun with the moon under her feet. Well, this woman is clothed with Mars with the sun under her feet. It's all about imagery. That's why the images are so important. A lot of you, when I do your charts, I'll actually give you the Picatrix. And it's online. Anybody can go get it. And it's all about idolatry, which is image magic. That's what television is. Television is, in Old Testament biblical standards, that's idolatry, because it's image magic. It's all about the images, because that's the way the universe speaks. That's what's going on here. It's telling a story and it's talking to us. They know the timeline and they're manipulating the timeline. these are also things you need to learn. Let's take out the constellations, are the images. These images and the angles and the numbers in them. Jupiter and a very aspecting Serpentarius or Hercules right there on that conjunct the last star in that constellation. Venus between the two stars. You need to know them all. Leo looks like a lion. I always say Cancer, it looks like the K, right? It looks like a K. The twins are obvious. Everybody knows Orion. And you can find Sirius in the Pleiades from there. It just shoots straight through. And Pleiades being the flock in the Egyptian. And Aries. Aries is by the triangle, really. I don't know why this popped into my head, but I'm going to do it. Is it this star? Yeah, it's this star right here. In the Quran, if we're going to do that, let's go. To the Arabic. Throw us up some images. In the Quran, the Dajjal. The Dajjal. There's descriptions of the Dajjal in the writings, hadiths. And he's got a head full of snakes and one eye. He's the one-eyed Dajjal and he's got a head full of snakes. That's that star right there. That's the description of this star. It's Al-Ghul in the Arabic, the Ghul, the Gua'u. It's Medusa. She's got a head full of snakes and the one eye. I call it Med USA. Medusa is to medicate the USA. Medusa, you take the head of Medusa to turn, this is the church down here in the head of Leviathan, to turn the Kraken to stone. You medicate them. That's what's going on here. But the Dajjal is the one-eyed Dajjal, and he's got snakes in his head. He's got black hair, black snakes. He walks with a limp. His right eye bulges like a grape and is blind, so he looks out of his left eye, right? It's the feminine eye, that left feminine eye of the Dajjal. There's a lot of, and he travels with his buddy Al-Jazaza, which is tall. It's like Chewbacca and Han Solo. He's tall, red-headed, and Al-Jazaza. I think I got all that right. But everything in here is something. Everything has meaning. I can't do it all. The coolest thing about this is taking up your own cross and going on your own journey. You find yourself in the stars, and then you translate that back down into this lifetime. And when you're on your path, it doesn't make the path easier, but you're no longer lost. You have a sense of direction. You know where you are and where you're going. And you can do it without it, right? You have to be the Luke Skywalker. You put on the blindfold. Remember, in the beginning, he had to wear the blindfold so that he learned to trust the Force. You trust your higher self. The moon and the sun, they run what you call gut instinct. That's why they call it gut instinct or intuition. The sun is more gut instinct, and the phrase intuition would be more of the moon. But they're both eclipsed in that solar plexus as your chakras. And everything is between them right now, but that out of control bipolar Mars. And to me, when I'm looking at this, this looks like a pretty good day, but an auspicious one. Good day because Venus and Jupiter are in the same house together, and it's in Mars's house. And so, and it looks good, but when you start playing the numbers and what the manipulating and the flipping of the script, I don't put anything past these. I don't want to even call them people. I'm not sure what to call them. The opposition, those who wish to remain in power. But this right here, because any other time this would be great and Jupiter could just move right on into his first house. But in this situation, Jupiter's moving into his house of Sagittarius and to meet Saturn. So it's a whole different ball game. And they know it's coming, right? They know it's coming. So, distraction off the charts. We've been told for decades, the revolution will not be televised. But there will be good news today. This week, just this setup right here from the time that Venus left her own house and came in with Jupiter, benefits Jupiter. And it's this is just a good, healthy sign. So is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a humanitarian sign. But when you're facing a Saturn-Jupiter conjunction, there's nothing about that even applies. It's a whole different ballgame. It's like the World Series. It's the playoffs, and 2020 is the World Series. And we already know who wins the battle. So, that's about what I have to say about that. Now, I want to talk about dreams, because I have repetitive dreams since childhood that are very vivid. I didn't understand them for decades. Now I completely understand them. But it's been over 4 years now. 4 years ago, I started having another dream. And these dreams are all connected. It's like I'm almost having an astral projection experience. It's very unlike a normal dream. Most dreams are sketchy, broken up, pieces and parts, and these are very clear. They're completely in sequence. It doesn't feel chopped up. It feels more like you're watching a movie, or when you're reading a book and you generate those images in your head, right? It doesn't feel like there's something missing, unlike a normal dream, to where you just wake up and remember pieces of it. In this case, it repeats itself exactly, and I wake up almost still in the dream. It's so real. Need a drink of water. And I've talked about this dream, and when I started having it is when all hell broke loose in my life, and everything fell apart, and I ended up just relocating across the United States. But the dream is, I'm shown 3 teepees. That's what they look like. It looks like teepees. It's almost cone shape. In a way, it looks like a volcano, right? You got this cone shape with this stuff coming out of the top. And I'm shown 3 of them. 2 of them are really fast they're close together. And then there's a pause before I'm shown the 3rd one. The dream is really long, but it's that specific part. And what I'm shown is a picture of the United States. And on the West Coast were 3 teepees. And I actually, in the teepee part, I've already lived that out. I've already teepeed in Yuba City, teepeed in Stockton, which were very close together, and then the Pause and TP in Las Vegas. About Las Vegas and the predictions that are going on about Seattle. In the movie War Games, when they wanted to play thermonuclear war, global thermonuclear war, the first city they chose was Las Vegas. The second city they chose was Seattle. There is a building in Las Vegas called the Stratosphere that resembles the Space Needle in Seattle. They look very much alike. But we had an event here that wasn't on the calendar. They call it October 1 or 10-1, which is really Octo 8, so it's 8-1. That sequence. 8 is H, and it's a Ha. It's the Ha. You have to understand the Ha, the Ka, the Ba, the Ra, the Ta, the Sa, and the Fa. Abracadabra. Why is it all A's? Because the vowels don't matter. Actually, they do matter, but not in true gematria and alchemical gematria. There's no vowels, and that's the only way I would have never found Fomalhaut had I been using the vowels. It don't work. They're nothing alike. Fomalhaut and Thalem are completely different words if you use the vowels. But if you throw the vowel to L away, take no oath, then they are the same word. Bethlehem, the Lamb, Thalem, Fomalhaut, Thelema, Thelma. I mean, it just goes on, and the list is on and on. But it's a dirty game that's being played. I think the monkey wrench that was thrown into all of this, which to me is the Holy Spirit, it's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is part of the programming. If you can't see that, then he's been part of the script for a long time. He's written into his story in the script is well over 100 years old, 200 years old. Before he was born, his son was written into the script. So this is all part of the script. It always has been. It's just a manipulation of the script. That is the problem here. And we control the script. We have choice. There's a script in the heavens, but because of duality, we have a choice. And they've convinced you to choose the left-hand path or the right-hand path. Choose the mutable cross or choose the cardinal cross. But there's that straight and narrow path that goes straight up the middle. And that's the fixed cross. Even those on the cardinal cross. That's why arrogance belongs on the cardinal cross. And the only place you find it anywhere else is in Leo. But Leo ends up, that arrogance turns to humiliation. You suddenly find yourself at the foot of the cross. But even those of us on the cardinal cross, you have to submit to the master cross, because that age is what's coming. Right now, we're all under the submission of the upside down mutable cross. And this is the craziest thing in the circus. This is the craziest ride at the carnival. Disney and none of the theme parks have shit on the mutable cross, especially the feminine axis. This age, unlike any of the other ages, because Peter was crucified upside down. That's what's going on here. Peter should have been below, and the Virgin should have been above. And she's below, and he's above. desire over Virgo is Mercury, the logical mind. This is supposed to be the age of reason. Now, it's completely irrational because of duality, because of the choice. But we don't have to be part of that cross. You take up your cross, whichever one it is, and you follow the Lamb. What does the Lamb do? Aquarius, it teaches you astrology, and it teaches you alchemy. Alchemy, the foundation, is the law of equivalent exchange. You reap what you sow. To get something, you must give something of equal value. Karma and dharma. It is learning the knowledge of the zodiac. The 3 air signs are the 3 heavens. Gemini is the lower heaven. He's mutable air. That's our atmosphere. That's everything in what you would call in the dome. Aquarius is the zodiac. It's astrology. So it's the stars. The fixed stars, no doubt. But Libra, the hidden, really not there at all in the Arabic. Libra is cardinal air. That's the most high of the heavens. That is what I call beyond the stars. It's everything beyond the zodiac. All of this. It's all of these other stories and the hidden meanings behind them. That's why this was taken away. They don't want this knowledge. When you have the image there, to me, like I said, the Libra that we have now, you have scales on your eyes. Can you see the snake in the kite? And look at where the sun is. So that's very important. In the Arabic zodiac or the Persian, the Oriental, you wouldn't see it at all. I've done the video for my new subs. There's a video called Fiery Serpent on the Pole. And I take you into the Old Testament and I show you the war that has gone on about Libra. Put it in the zodiac, take it out of the zodiac. And that's why it's occult, which means hidden. This is the hidden wisdom of the heavens. This was all done. There was another battle at the time of Julius Caesar about Libra. And so he just dug a big hole right here. I call it the bottomless pit, because he dug a hole under her foot. The Egyptians had the Enneads, which were 9 planets, 9 constellations. The Greco-Roman had it, and the Persians had 11, because it was a feathered serpent. It was Quetzalcoatl. Scorpio and Libra were one sign. And when they were separated into 2 signs is when we get the story of Eve taken out of Adam in this way, and then Adam taken out of Eve in that way. Somebody asked me the question. This is a great question. If our charts are so specific, then how can I it sounds contradictory. I wish I had let me see if I can go get it. Hold on. Oh, that connection is so slow. Oh my goodness. Sorry, only 4 minutes in. This is all false sky clock timing. What's your location for basis of comparison for the whole world? Because as you stated with birth charts, where you are, even within seconds, creates a whole new energy perspective, and depending where in the world you are, you will see 100% differences in the sky. So, false sky clock. They're having trouble reconciling the fact that how can I talk about the whole world in one breath and in the same sentence tell you that because your rising sign depends on seconds. Great question. Absolutely great question. The answer is wheels within wheels. That's why knowing the legends are so important. It's like in the Mayan calendar. You have the regular calendar and you have the long count calendar. But it's all just one calendar. And there's stories within stories, wheels within wheels. And like I said, take Virgo. Virgo, in one story, she is the damsel in distress, and the woman with the alabaster box, and in the other story, she's the whore of Babylon. It's wheels within wheels. There's more than one story to everyone. And then there's the big picture. The Mayan calendars call that the long count calendar. That's how I can say the world in one breath, in a large perspective, because that's one wheel. It's one legend. But there are other legends, and you can find all of that over here in Star Lore. Each one has their own legend, and you have to know the legend for each one to know what the stories are, whether it's on a mundane, daily, specific basis, or whether it's long count and we're looking at the big picture. That's the difference. That's how I can say that, because I can see both wheels spinning at the same time, because they're all on one axis point. It's like a gearbox. It's like, let's see if I can find it. It's looking at the inner workings of it all. Wheels, 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 and it all. You got to be able to see more than one layer. It's looking at it three-dimensionally. You can look at the big picture on how it relates to the timeline, the long count, starting with the fact that we're in the age of Pisces upside down. And then when you carry your own cross, it's specific to just you. And the most specific thing about it is your rising sign. You know, I'm still waiting on the second witness for the rising sign. I put it in the charts because people ask me about it. And it is mentioned in their, that Hermes, or Thoth had the book of Hermes about the rising signs. But I haven't found the witness to that in the alchemical studies that I've done so far. I haven't found it yet. It's very prevalent in my life. I have Fomalhaut on the horizon in my natal chart. I mean, sitting on the horizon. You had to be born at that exact minute for Fomalhaut to be right there, because it moves second by second as we turn on the landscape, and you begin to, let's lock onto a star. Here's a star, and let's just do it by minute. Every minute counts. So what's my thought for today? A lot going on. I have to say that all the warning signs are there. They have definitely encoded today to be in conjunction. Here's what I've come to understand. What are they doing? I think they're either trying to unflip Peter's cross or to flip the Aquarian cross, because they're making a mark in the sky. They're making a cross, and actually, they're not making a cross. They're making an X. They're making an X, right? When you see 9:11 here and 11:3 here, and you run the lines, that's going to make an X. And it literally is marking this whole age of Pisces, from the first degree of Aquarius to this degree. They're Xing it. It's being marked. So you would see the other event happen right here that would finish that cross. If one happens here today, it has to have its finish here. And this one here will have to have its marker here. And that's what they're doing. That's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm understanding. And then there's that crazy line down the middle, which is going to be the Milky Way, the crossing over. It's like they're doing the XP, the Cairo. It's called the Cairo. They're making a Cairo in the heavens with events and numerology. And it's blocking in Virgo on this end and Pisces on this end. It's that's exactly what it's doing. As a matter of fact, it's the last degree of Leo and the first degree of Libra. It's the last degree of Aries and the first degree of Aquarius. And it's the X. X is the 10. When you have 9/11, they leave the 10 out. Right? There's no X. It should have been XIX, and now it's IXXI because they left the central X out. X is the symbol for the woman. The beast hates the woman. And that's what Mars feels like to me in Virgo. It hates the woman. Feminism is hijacked like everything else. I don't care what you do. Everything starts out with good intentions, but everything is infiltrated and hijacked for an agenda. This thing will jump on any train that comes in the station. I don't even know what to call it. Is it a movement, an agenda? It seems to be at one moment I feel that it's terrified. And at the next, it completely has no empathy, no compassion at all. None. It's angry, it's angry, it's powerful, it demands power. It's, wow, I don't even like delving into it. I don't like looking at it. But I can do it. It's very angry for some reason, and I don't understand that anger. I don't know what the anger's about. I don't know why it's angry. I can't even come close to putting my finger on that, but it's definitely there. It's very narcissistic. It don't care that it's wrong. It doesn't care that how do I put that? It has no shame. None. No humiliation. It's extremely arrogant. This thing is extremely arrogant. And it's an arrogance that I don't even associate with pride. I don't. This energy, this thing, this, is it our collective subconscious? I think it is. That's my opinion. Is understand that good and evil, this duality, especially of the emotion, it only has, it can only live in the hearts and minds of people. And that's Venus and Mercury. Like I said, this was the woman with the alabaster box. Virgo was supposed to be an age of reason. That's why the atheism movement pushed, because it is supposed to be an age of reason. But it's a negative masculine there it is right there. It's not feminine. It doesn't want feminine reason. They have superimposed masculine reason over feminine reason. They hijacked the feminine movement doing that. A man, as a trans woman, has more rights than a woman. As a matter of fact, they have privilege. Do you understand what I just said? That's this energy right here. That's what it feels like to me. It is a masculine imposter femininity that's presenting itself. It's arrogant, it's narcissistic, it doesn't have any shame, it feels entitled, it's self-entitled. That's the energy we're dealing with. I don't like looking at it. I've dealt with that energy my whole life. I am beginning to wonder, is that the battle here? Is this really the subconscious, the inner workings of man? Are we really that dark? Are our hearts that black? And that's funny because in Libra, Venus, the color is red, but in Taurus, it's black. And they tell you you have a black heart. Think about what I just said. All right, I'm going to cut this. This is getting close to an hour long, and it's going to take a long time to upload. But, you know, you have to do what you have to do for you. I don't like pushing the fear agenda. I think it's counterproductive. I think it's exactly what you're playing into their hand when you do that. But by all means, reason is the name of the game this age. It was supposed to be. But now, because we're upside down, it's completely unreasonable. And that's another thing about this energy here. It's like somebody making completely unreasonable demands on you. It's setting you up to fail. They demand from you what they know you cannot produce. I don't have the answers. You have to take up your own cross and find your own answer. But I still see the dream I had playing out, and on several levels. This thing layers itself. These images layer themselves, wheels within wheels. Ones that move really fast, day to day, minute to minute, and then the slow ones that just seem like they're almost at a stop. Like I said, the sun takes 72 years to move 1 degree. It'll only move 1 degree in your lifetime if you live to be that old. So all we ever really experience on the whole wheel, all we're getting to experience in our lifetime is 1 degree. That's it. And that leaves 359 more that are 359 more layers of a different tale, for a different degree, for a different day. And we seem to have like 3.5 generations in that 1 degree. But you have to be able to multitask in your mind, seeing these layers upon layers, these wheels within wheels, and how I can look at it and tell you, well, this is what today looks like for the whole frickin' world. But it's going to look specifically different to each of us, depending on where you are, when you were born, what cross you're on. But they're trying to control the timelines. This thing seeks to change the times and the seasons, right? The times and the seasons change themselves. Manipulating it, to me, they try to one, stop the wheel from turning. I've done those videos years ago, the 3-lock box. And the other one is to literally turn back time. And there's a lot of rituals on that. The biggest one playing out has always been Walmart. Roll back. And they show you the happy face sun. Roll back. That's been going on for a long time, trying to roll back time, because they know what's coming. And they're going to get a full taste of it in 2020. Those who support this negative energy, the dark energy, the dark lords, or whatever you want, label you want to put on them. But I tell you, here's one thing you need to know, is they're not dark. They will appear as beautiful angels. Satan is not ugly devil, goat, red, horned Baphomet. Do you see the difference now in the imagery? To me, Baphomet is the attempt to flip the fixed cross. Do you understand? Like Peter's cross is upside down. Well, they want to make this one upside down because it should be Pan, not Baphomet. It's the goat man, not the man goat. They are flipping it. They're flipping all the imagery. So in their aspect, instead of this being the pure white lamb, it's the scapegoat. Remember, there's 2 goats at the temple, and one gets the red thread put around its neck, right? You get the scapegoat, the sacrificial goat and the scapegoat, and that's what they're doing. You know what they've done to Star Wars? Oh my. That's another big part of this ritual. And it's not working for them. It's not working. Because the veils are coming down. The scales over here that's hiding the snake from us to see it are coming off. And everybody's starting to catch on. And they lose power. This thing is losing power daily. But it's desperate. When I say I feel fear, terrified, it's desperation. And so I don't put anything past it. All you need to do is stay grounded. If your higher self starts speaking to you and telling you to get the hell out, then do it. I'm in one of the most dangerous places to possibly be, and I'm not scared at all. If I have to go out in the first wave, then I was supposed to. I'm okay with that. I am not afraid of death. I've been chasing it my whole life. It runs from me and leaves me in pain. It's what happens when I chase death. end up in more pain. I've accepted my cross. I carry it. This channel and me helping you find your crosses is part of me carrying my cross. Capricorn is about service to others. As you know, Capricorn and Aquarius are both ruled by Saturn, the higher self. Aquarius is the self-martyr. No man takes my life. I lay it down for whosoever. This is the one who gives himself for whosoever. And this one here is the one who serves the many, the whole. You come to play your part. What can you do for humanity? Not what can humanity do for you. Right now we're dealing with this entitled generation that is demanding, I don't know what they think they want, a Barbie camper? I'm not sure what it is they think they want, or they think they're entitled to, or have been stolen from. Because it was made clear to us that he suffered the same things all humanity does. We're all in this same boat together. We all shed tears, we all eat, we all laugh. They don't see the big picture. They're stuck in the I want it now. That's the problem with the now movement. Is to them there's only now. So F the future. The past doesn't matter and the future doesn't matter. It's only right now. Instant gratification. That's the biggest problem on this planet. And that's opposite Capricorn. Capricorn is patience. The most patient is always the goat. The goat will wait forever for that perfect opportunity. And then when its enemy has its back turned, it butts them in the ass from behind. They never see it coming. That takes patience. That's opposite of this I want it now. And the moon rules Cancer, which is the opposite of patience. It's the fastest thing. Hurry up, go real fast. People want to attribute that to Mercury, but nothing moves in time faster here than the moon. The moon, the rising sign, the moon, Mercury, Venus, in that order. The slowest mover is Pluto, the subconscious. And it's birthing some very unique generations here. I have to say that even the emos, the entitled generation, their children that they're giving birth to now is so opposite of them. It's quite incredible. We have the hero generation coming up. But they won't step into that, right? It's water and it's fixed. They won't step into that until it moves fixed water over here. And that's another couple decades. They have moved, they changed the timelines. And they have dismissed everybody of the age of reason, Pluto and Virgo. Because you were born with Pluto and Uranus together. I can see it all. I see the big picture, and when I do your charts, I see you. That scares some people. How much information is actually in your birth chart. It's quite incredible. It really is. But it's something I want. I don't want to do it for you. I want you to do it for you. And I want you to do it for your friends and for your family. And this is something that every mother should give their child. And when we move into Aquarius, we will. It'll be part of the curriculum. As a matter of fact, your education will be determined by your birth charts. Why are you here? What is your lesson and what is your purpose? And it will be fulfilled. Right now, none of us feel fulfilled. We're lost, we're confused, we don't belong in this world, and we know it. It seems like it rejects us. It doesn't want us. We're not part of the script. We didn't get flipped. We actually have reason about us. That Holy Grail. All right, I've hit that hour mark. That's that for me, people. I'll upload when I can. If I feel like it's important, I'll get a video in. Otherwise, I'm finishing these charts. I've got a few more I have to redo. I keep making mistakes. And as even the smallest mistake, sometimes it makes huge differences in the chart. Sometimes it's just variables. It's just small little things. But when I make a mistake, I always redo the whole chart, regardless of it's just a small one or not. Because maybe there's something else that is wanting to be revealed to you for whatever reason. I don't sweat it. I just do it. All right? So if you're going to do it, do the right thing. Do the right thing for you. Do the right thing for humanity. I would say do the right thing for this world age, but let's leave that in the hands of the master. That's not even our business. We're in this world, but we're not of this world. We're out of this world. Let's get out of this world, out of our minds, and into our hearts. And, one thing I want to say, and I'm going to keep saying this too, about this woke generation, is if you ain't got love from everybody, then you ain't woke. That's fake. I don't know what that is. That's the illusion, the lie. It's incredibly wrong. But to be truly unveiled, for those scales to truly come off, then to see things for what they truly are, that's woke. When you realize you're being pitted one side against the other, and there you are. We're in the middle, but we don't have to be stuck in the middle. We can move forward in the middle. We don't have to be stuck. And that's what we need to be doing. I've been stuck in the middle for a while. And finally, I feel like I'm moving forward now. All right, a lot going on, a lot coming up. You've got some big dates and changes coming up. Jupiter moving in to Sagittarius on the 16th is the 15th is the last day. So the 16th, moving into Sagittarius. And it begins. It begins. It's going to just be back and forth. You're going to see it in your homes, in your families. You're going to see it in the political arena. You're going to see it on the world stage. This is for an election year coming up. It's going to be awful, really. People are going to want to smash their televisions. It's going to be that bad. We just think we've seen it all. We've not seen anything yet. And it very well might begin. I know that even though Trump is in the script and part of the script, that also he didn't play ball with them. Something has happened. I know that. And the tides have turned. But that's, in my eyes, that's still their battle. But yeah, somehow or another, a monkey wrench got put in, and when they got him in, he's not doing exactly what they wanted him to do. Okay, something like that. So, I'm not sure about this is going to help them. This 11.3 thing, I'm not sure that's going to help them at all. But we'll see. I can't. They have the agenda timeline well, it's always been the same thing. This is a war machine. That's what it does. It's all about Aries. It's all about Mars and Aries and the Babylonian priesthood and the wicked eye of Medusa and the evil eye of Oculus Boreas, and just all this wickedness. And the Damsel in Distress by Disney, Mickey Mouse, Mickey upside down, mirrored image is wicked. He's a wicked wouse. But it's all being played out. The good, the bad, and the ugly. I just enjoy the show. All you have to do, really, you can't save other people. You can only save you. And the only part of you worth saving is your soul. It doesn't matter about your body. You better be worried about the inside and not the outside, because none of us really know when our time is coming, especially in the configurations we've got going on right now and what's playing out on an upside down cross. The fates and destiny, I think they're even confused at this point. Nobody can unscribble. It's so deep. It is so deep. And it goes back for so long. But when these scales do come down off your eyes and you start to see it, you don't have a fear of death anymore. You're not afraid anymore. You get out of the game and you just start doing what you came here to do. You walk your path. You worry about your family, your loved ones. We now stand in the gap for them. You have you ready. And when the scales do come down, when the veil is lifted, then you're going to have to help pick them up. That's what a lot of you on this channel are doing here. I already know this. The majority of the charts I do. You are not here for yourself. Very few of you have actually arrived to this place to grow your own souls, to grow your lights and your spirits. Most of you have come in here self-sacrificially. You have a lot of Capricorn and Aquarius energy in your charts, and Sagittarius is also the great 3 humanitarian signs, and that quadrant, Scorpio, actually filling out that 4th position. Earth, water, air, and fire. But they're the great humanitarian signs. And when we do get Scorpio on the winter solstice, when it finally does move into Scorpio, then that's what everybody's been waiting on, is these 4 that puts Aquarius and Capricorn in the spring equinox right here. When we get this right here, we want that Libra Scorpio divided right there at the winter solstice. And then we have these 4 in the light, in the rising, in power position. The power position runs from the spring equinox to after the summer. The apex is the summer solstice and begins declination into the fall equinox and then into the winter solstice, death and rebirth. So the rebirthing of the hero, the king was born here, right? He was died and resurrected on the 3rd day here. He's born out in the spring. He moves into that power position. The throne up is east, not north. We've been lied to. North is the position of the one fixed star that never moves. Actually, it does move over thousands, over every 4, boom, 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 boom. Earth, water, air, fire, we change polar stars. Earth, water, air, fire, we change polar star. There are 3 of them. It's a little triangle and we move between them. Polaris, Vega, and what is the third one? But we have 3. And we're moving from Polaris, which is polarity. But we're moving out of the Polaris pole star into the Vega pole star. You know, in Las Vegas, they don't say it's Las Vegans. They call themselves Vegans or Vegans here. Alright, I'm getting tired and this has to process and upload. I hope it gets uploaded before this actual time, but it is what it is. Do you people get your cross? Like Kennedy said, don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Don't ask what humanity can do for you. Ask what you can do for humanity.